from Clarkston, Michigan, the greatest city in the world. It's the Jose Aliaga Show. Jose Aliaga knows everyone. Get to know him as he interviews some of the most fascinating people from the greater Independence Township area. And now, broadcasting from the studios at Clarkston High School, the home of the state champion Wolves, here's Jose Aliaga.
Welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today we have an exciting guest. He's well known, he's well respected, well liked. Kelly Aliaga quote, he's the coolest guy in town. And to me, he's one of the most influential people in North Oakland County. His name is Don Rush. Welcome, Don Rush. How you doing?
Great, Jose. Thanks for having me here.
Good, good. One of the first questions I have is, many people want to know where Don Rush is from. Some people think it's Peruvian, Mexican. Where are you from, Don? Where do you already...
Women are from Venus, Donna's from Mars. No, I grew up in Clarkston, Independence Township, actually.
Independence Township.
Yes, I did. I grew up on Clarkston Road by Walters Lake. Graduated from Clarkston High School in 1981. I played for... When I was in school, Kurt Richardson, the football coach, was an assistant.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't the top dog then.
So who is the first supervisor that you remember from Independence Township?
First name that comes to my mind would be Tink Ronk.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Back in the 80s, 70s?
Late 70s, I would say.
Oh, okay. So, hold on, before I miss this. You says that Kurt Richardson was the assistant coach.
Yes.
Back to that. So you played for the Clarkston Wolves then?
Yes, I did. I played football. Sasha Junior High. I started in 8th grade there, and 9th grade, and then 10th grade, JV. Kurt was our coach for the JV team. And then the following year, he became assistant coach again for the varsity team. So then we were, I think, 7-1. We lost one game.
Oh, wow.
But, so
yeah, good.
Clarkston's always had a pretty good program.
So who is the people that you remember back then that they accomplished, for sports? Some people that accomplished
for sports?
Yeah.
Let me see. Was it Steve Howe?
Okay.
He was a pitcher for the Dodgers, and then he was also a pitcher for, I think, the Yankees. Of course, he was thrown out of baseball 7 times for drug use, but he was an awesome pitcher. He had, I think in 1981, he was the Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers, and he went to the World Series and did awesome. Let me see.
Someone else?
Tim McCormick.
Okay.
He graduated in 1980, year before me, 6'11".
Oh.
And how was the weather up there, Tim? No one ever told him that, but he went on to play for U of M.
Oh, okay.
And then he went on to play for the Seattle Sonics basketball team in the NBA. Currently, I believe he still is involved in the NBA, and it might be for the Players Union.
Oh.
Tim Burgess was a pitcher. His dad was a principal here at Clark's. He was actually Shastabal Junior High School. He pitched for the Oakland Athletics, I think, until he blew out his knee.
Oh, wow.
So there's been some studs coming out of Clarkston.
I see.
Yeah.
But you see, in the last 2 years, the Clarkston Wolves, we are, become state champion 2 times in a row.
Well, yes, they're 2 times in a row, and they're working on 3.
Yeah.
Got to make it 3. It's a tough thing to do. The state has a lot of good football players, and it's hard to keep on going year after year after year, because every year you lose 10, 15, 20 players to graduation. So it's a...
It is tough to keep up with.
It is tough. It is tough.
But Clarkston is well known having good athletic.
Yep.
We do.
Good schools. Yep. Good schools.
We have a good.
I liked it. I graduated here, like I say, in 1981 from the old high school. Walden Road.
Don, you know about a lot about history, about a lot about what's going on in Clarkston for the last probably 40 years. So, and you're the editor of Clarkston News. Everybody read the Clarkston News. I do.
You oughta.
Of course I do. I do. You know, people like you to call them right there. You're right always. But what is one of the most interesting news that you remember back in the day or recently that you think, wow, that really happened?
Well, one of the things that I remember happening was when Pine Knob started doing concerts, and that really changed the whole dynamics of the community. Where before, I used to be able to ride my bicycle on Sashaball Road to football practice and back from Walters Lake, and on Sashaball Road I could just go without a care in the world of being hit by a car. I don't even like driving on it now. It's so crowded. Pine Knob getting the concerts was big news. We've had murders. You know, I remember a gal was really banged up with car doors and left in the field. So, you know, a lot of tragedies. Like any community, we have tragedies here. A lot of good things have happened. You know, it was good people. And
but that was back in the day. But what about the good news? If remember any good news that people says, "Wow, that really happened in Independence Township, Clarkston area. Wow, I'm proud."
Well, everything. I mean, you know, Jose, this community is blessed with a lot of people who volunteer. So there's always reading the Clarkston News every week. 90% of that paper is full of the good news that happens in this community. And
true.
So to say, is there any one big story or nice positive story? You know,
too many. Right?
There's too many. I mean, there's always positive people doing things, overcoming tragedy. There's a lot of good news in the paper. And if you like history, the Clarkston News has been around since 1929.
1929.
1929. We've never missed a week. Every week we come out, and go ahead. I was going to say just within the last 2 months, the Independence Town or Clarkston Independence District Library, new name, has scanned almost every edition of the paper back to the 1930 whatever, all the way up to like 2012. So if anybody wants to go and research anything that's happened in town, you can go online and do it on your computer.
Interesting.
Go to the library's website.
Interesting. So if somebody up there is watching this today, you can go online and you can research many things that are happening in Independence Township, Clarkston area.
Right, Clarkston. You can look up different public notices, make sure the government's doing things right, or you can say, hey, my granddad was blah, 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 blah in the 1940s. I wonder if he was in the Clarkston News. And you could type in his name and find it if he was. So it's an awesome tool the library has done. So I recommend anybody just to go and check that out. Your tax dollars at work.
Of course. It's good to hear that. But Don, is the same family owns the Clarkston News since then, or it has been changed owners?
No. Okay. Let's see. The Clarkston News from 1929 to about 1933 had 5 different owners.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until 33 that Judge Stamp and his wife moved up from Detroit and bought the Clarkston News, and they owned it till 1966 when they sold it to the Jim and Hazel Sherman family, and they live in Oxford. So, but it's been in the same family since '66 now, and we've been at the next to Rudy's Market since 1969.
Really?
Yeah, that building there.
But you always worked for the Clarkston News, or you?
I worked for the Sherman family, which is the Oxford Leader, the Lake Orion Review, the Clarkston News, and the Citizen up in Nortonville. Over 30 years now. Right after college, I came and started working here.
But what you did before you worked in the Clarkston News?
I went to college.
Okay.
Central Michigan University, fire up chips.
All right.
And to get through college, I worked for the township.
The township.
I worked for Independence Township. I'm a government slacky.
Probably a lot of people didn't know that.
I worked at for the DPW, but in particular, I worked at the cemetery, Lakeville Cemetery.
Oh.
I dug that job. People were dying to get in. The joke wasn't funny then. It's not funny now. I'm sorry, Jose.
all
Sorry,
right.
everybody.
Sorry.
But that's how I got through college.
Yeah.
Was I digging holes and cutting grass and all that kind of stuff. Bud Parker was the sexton then, and he'd worked there since 1950.
Oh, 1950.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, and he had like big Popeye arms, and he smoked a little Popeye pipe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was a funny guy.
Very interesting, Don. Don, so what during that time, what is the biggest change that you see in Independence Township?
Well, the biggest thing, Jose, is how long have you been in town?
15 years.
15 years.
Well, you live longer than me here.
You've probably seen it. But like I said, it is the amount of people. When I grew up by Walters Lake, there was Heather Lake was a little lake there. There's now Heather Lake Estates. And on both sides of Clarkston Road, by Eston Road, there were cornfields. And then there was a pig farm. It was called the Z Farm. I think an artist owns that house now. All corn. We should play in there. And now it's all homes. And it's just the amount of cars, the amount of people here. I think the population is like tripled since when I grew up. And and the roads are still the same. So that's the biggest change has been the amount of people in the community, and the amount of, gosh, cars. I think that's wow. I can't believe how many cars are everywhere. Like I said, I used to ride on Sashball Road on my bike without a care in the world of being hit.
One of the things I saw that before people want to buy a house is they want to see how the community is have good schools, good library, the type of populations there, and that actually welcome a lot of people to move to this location because Independence Township, Clarkston area have a nice community, good people. You just mentioned 90% of the people like to volunteer, help the community. And I believe it's part of why people want to live or be part of Independence Clarkston area. But I agree, it's growing, and I think we need to probably working on infrastructure, right?
Infrastructure.
That's important.
It wasn't in the 90s, I think Arizona population was exploding. This is before the drought, obviously, and they went and they had the developers of all these different subdivisions actually have to pay for improving the infrastructure outside, not just through taxes, but like okay, these roads got to be fixed. We can't get any more cars on these roads, so that's something maybe the township can do here is think about. You don't want to become, nothing wrong with Southfield or Warren or anywhere else, but we don't want to hear, people moved up here for a little quality of life. Quality of life also means not having just to, touch your neighbor all the time. You want a little bit of space.
No, a good point. I think our planning commission probably understand this. I'm sure they understand this. They are in touch with listening to concerns about everybody, and it's a very good point. And there's a good point that you brought it up about the change, how it changed our community.
Well, it's changed the face, and one of the reasons I think that Clarkston is kind of blessed with all this volunteerism is because actually the Clarkston News tells people, hey, you can go volunteer here. They need help over here. I'm a firm believer that a community with a community newspaper is a stronger community. I believe a community newspaper is the glue that can keep a community together. As such, I feel so strongly about community newspapers. I've had the opportunity to go to daily papers and all that kind of stuff, but community papers are the growth of the industry across the nation. Daily papers are dying. Everybody talks about the death of print. Community papers are growing, and they're still growing. I believe so strongly in that. I'm on a state board for the community papers in Michigan. I'm vice president of that board, and it's our job to increase the awareness of community papers and make them we're a viable business, and it's kind of fun. You see a lot of things, meet a lot of people. Sometimes you make people mad. I mean, if you go to the village of the city of Clarkston, awesome name, by the way. There are some people there who do not like me.
Well, most people like Ron Roche. Come on, I mean, you're a good person. People always say Ron Roche always is smiling and welcome people here. And you bring always positive news. I see always positive thing. You highlight the most positive thing in our community.
Try.
Yeah,
But not everything is positive, Jose. You just can't be positive. Sometimes, things are bad and they need to be pointed out.
Well, black is black, white is white, and that's sometimes
Yeah.
what it is. But no, I agree with you. I don't disagree or fighting with you, no. But I hear a lot of people says that they like to read your column because it's entertaining. You pointed out some facts there in a good way. You put some sense of humor too,
sure.
and then people, hey, I like to read this, and then. Sometimes news is news, and
Hey, don't rush me, man. I'll get to it.
I do understand that. But so, what do you think about the township board then? I won't get mad or
Township
nothing.
board sucks.
Okay.
They blow
Well-
chunks. I think the board. I was going to.
Yeah.
It was going to be interesting at first, I thought, because we only had one person on the board who had any kind of history with the board, knowing what's going on. When you came on board with Pat and Barb and
Paul.
Christy, Richie, all new. All new people. And I think you guys have done a heck of a job. I think the township has actually got some good ideas, plans in place, not just for right now, but they're looking into the future. They've cut some waste, they've reshaped things. I think you're more efficient. Paul Brown's doing an excellent job, I think, with, you paying with credit cards or, go online and doing stuff like that. Barb's doing a good job. I think Pat Kittle's doing a wonderful job. And I think, that Township Times newspaper that comes out monthly, I think that's a good idea. It tells the community, here's what we're thinking about doing. If you don't like it, come to our meetings. Come, call me, email me, and communicate. I think too many times people in communities just kind of like pay their taxes and that's it. I think the township has done a good job of reaching out and communicating with people for their ideas, whether or not they're good ideas or bad ideas. They're bringing them out there. They're throwing them out there. So I think that's good.
True. And that keep in touch with the people, and it's a good point that you brought up at the Township Times.
Yeah.
So, it was a good idea from the board.
Second week of the month.
Second week of the month.
That's when it comes out.
I see. No, it's good to see what you see in the board, and I'm glad that you agree that we're doing an effective.
What does a township see, Jose? You're I'm gonna turn this around. This is your show, but I'm a newspaper guy. What do you think is a township's biggest issue? What do we got to approach?
Well, one of the biggest issues right now to me is bring more jobs to our community, because I see we have every year we have more than 500 kids graduating from high school, and they're looking for opportunities. But they're not looking at a job with minimum wage. They're looking for a good job, they pay good benefits and things. And I think one of the biggest issues to me that I'm gonna be fighting always is to bring a hospital here. Just because it's gonna bring good jobs with good pay, and it will save so many lives. Because I have many friends of mine in the last 15 years living here that pass away with many diseases that could be prevented if we have a close hospital close by. I think it's one of the biggest issue to me is having a close health care here to our community, bring a lot of good jobs. Just to build a hospital will bring a lot of jobs for carpenters, plumbers, etc. So I think it will robust our economy. Is one of the things that I will still fighting for it.
And what about infrastructure? How are you guys going to work on that? There's more developments coming in the township. Whenever there's a big hunk of property, people want to put 54 homes on 20 acres. That's another 100 cars at least.
Yeah, well, that's why we have a planning commission. We have a people that have the experience, and we work with Dick Carlyon. There's our consultant that give a good recommendation based in facts, statistics. We see the numbers. And then after that, we make a decision. I don't make a decision out of the blue, say, oh, yeah, it's a good idea. No, I have to see facts, numbers, statistics. Then I make a decision on it. And it's coming more decisions in the future, of course. But obviously, we always want the support. McLaren have very supportive infrastructure. As you know, they donate $1.5 million to widen the exit in and out from I-75.
Right.
So your idea is actually already applied. We tell the developers or the people, you want here, but we want you invest in the infrastructure.
Right.
So
Invest in us.
So it's a win-win for everybody, for the community, for the township, and for the people coming here. What you just saying, we actually put it apply. So
good.
Yeah, no, and I know the type of person that knock on door and ask for people to vote for me in election time. I knock the door every year. So I'm knocking on doors, asking for people concerns and questions. So I'm actually listening to people, and I transmit that the concerns to Supervisor Kill and everybody in the board. So we work together and make a decision based on also what we hear. We are, since to you guys, also working with you guys, we can have more knowledge of what's going on, because people call us through Clarkston News, Township Times. Hey, Jose, it's what we think about, this and that, the roads, and this is why we probably are more effective, because we are in touch with people.
Well, this community has a lot of smart, intelligent people, and a lot of volunteers, but there's also a lot of ideas out there. And when you have the ideas, people start throwing more ideas at you. Not all ideas work, but sooner or later you find one that just shines out. It's like, wow, why didn't we think of this before?
Right, and you see, I think the difference with other boards and other townships is some boards is, oh, this is a good idea, but let's put it there for someday in the future. Or board is more like proactive and look the idea, look around, exploring the idea, and make it happen. Not put it for the future. We work it right now, and that's what I think is why we are more effective, I believe. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, don't. And well, you're asking a very good question. He's a reporter. He has experience in that, He's very good. So now, for what you see Independence Township grow and all that, now, so you brought it up, infrastructure. What kind of infrastructure are you talking about, for example?
Well, roads, obviously, but also...
but roads is the whole state of Michigan right now. I mean,
however, we have roads, Clarkston Road, roads that are 2 lanes, and they're all curvy, and they're meant for a community that had 10,000 people living in it, and now you got close to 40,000 people in it. When I was growing up, most households had 1 car. Now it's 2 cars, plus all the kids got cars. Look at the high school.
True. But you see, the roads, is actually the county commissioner is the one who take care of the roads. You know that, right? Not the township. Right. And the state of Michigan is the one who allocate the money. Obviously, I understood that most of the money come to Oakland County, Wayne County, and Macomb, because they're the ones who have more population. Right. So it's not except to the township. But I hear the concerns. People call me, email me. So as the supervisor, we call the county roads, and
that's where the planning comes in. You just can't allow developers to put in as many houses as they want into their area. It has to be proactive. Again, looking over what's going to happen because of what we've done.
Yeah, and you see, before you make a decision, you have to see what is the master plan 2020, what it says. Okay, this is the master plan. This is what these people are proposing. All right. It's a master plan, Right. It's not like I approve whatever they come in there. I mean, I have to follow rules and laws there. But no, you bring a good point. I think the board is listening what's going on. I mean.
So let's go back. Roads, also electrical infrastructure. North Oakland County is one of the worst electrical grids in the nation, or Midwest at least. Talk to anybody who does computer work, big, and they just pull their hair out. They have backup upon backups because the fluctuation in power is just always going in this area. So again, you get more development, more draw on the system. It needs to be fixed.
No, and what is your solution again?
My solution?
No,
I'm a newspaper guy, man. Buy more subscriptions. No. Read more newspapers.
Well, I think working with the developers and
working with the developers, but I think you got to work with the universities and be a little proactive. What can be done?
Yeah,
with electrical.
Okay. All right, Don. We still have some time. So, and since you are here and you are a very bright man, I want to change the subject now and talk about the primaries. We have a presidential election, and a lot of people is talking about, the media is talking about these elections. So let's talk first about the Democrat primary. Joe Biden may run. We already have 3 people running: Hillary Clinton, O'Malley, and Bernie Sanders. So who you like the best out of those?
I think who I like is not important. I think it's going to be Hillary.
So Hillary is going to win, but I want to know who you like. Out of those 4 people.
I like Bernie Sanders.
Only
because he speaks his truth. I don't maybe agree with him all the time on anything.
But he speaks the truth.
I think he speaks from the heart, and I don't think he's been bought. So
Okay, good. Now let's go to the Republican primary. I think now they are 17, 18 because the
no idea.
former governor of Virginia just announced. It's too many.
It's too many.
Let's talk about the top 5 people.
not Trump.
Why not? Why?
Because I think he's just in it for being Don Trump. He just wants to be the Don.
So he wants to be like you?
Yes.
Okay. So
But I have better hair.
You have better hair. But Don, come on. So you don't like Donald Trump?
No.
Period.
No.
So who do you like?
I like Ben Carson. I like.
Why you like Ben Carson?
I think he's not a politician.
Okay.
Again, I might not agree with a lot of things he stands for, but I think he's an intelligent man. Speaks from the heart. So I like that. I like what's his face, the curly hair.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul. A little
okay.
more libertarian-like.
Okay.
I kind of like him.
What about Ted Cruz?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I think Ted Cruz is all about Ted Cruz too.
Okay. What about Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey's not bad, but he's been around too long.
Okay. What about George Pataki, former governor of New York?
Nope.
No, why not? He was
New
a
York.
Republican.
I'm done with.
elected
I'm
in-
done with New York. I'm done with California.
So,
Anybody from those two sides, I don't want.
so you don't like
Left coast
Fiorina? Shirley Fiorina?
No. Not,
No.
anybody
All
from
right.
the coast, I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
Marco Rubio from Florida.
No.
Jeb Bush.
No.
No? Even if Jeb Bush come and check you out and said vote for me? No.
No. I'd shake his hand.
Okay, but no, you know what for him.
Not right now.
No, right. Okay, so Ben Carson, so you think Ben Carson is genuine, he's not a politician, but do you think he have the experience to get in Washington, get in the White House the first day and starting to fix the economy? I mean, the economy is a big issue.
I don't know. I have a year to vote yet. Besides, we're going to wrap up now.
Well, very soon, very soon. All right. Well, Senor Don Rush wanted me to wrap up, so I was kidding. Well, Senor Rush, any final words before we wrap up this?
Final words. I think it's an awesome community, Clarkston. Like I say, I grew up here. I've worked here my entire life, so anybody wants to come and talk to me, they know where to find me in the corner of M15, Main Street.
Yeah, so if people want to see more about Don Rush, you can go to his website. It's
.clarkstonnews.com.
Good. They have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we got Facebook.
Clarkston News as well.
Yep.
And you can follow Don Rush there.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Don, for being here.
Thank you.
You're a good friend and a good asset for the community, good man, and thanks for coming today in the show.
Adios.
He speaks Spanish really well.
Sí.
And- well, thank you, all of you. If you want to be a part of the show or you want to be a guest, you can call us. You can be in our Facebook page. You can follow us on our Facebook page at the Jose Aliaga Show. If you have a good comment, please write it right there. We're happy to have your good comment. If you have a negative comment, don't write anything, please. And if you would like to be a part of the show again, you can call us at my number at 248-736-7163. Thank you and God bless you. Adios.
Adios. Muchachos.